right, everyone, welcome back to the Old Switcharoo, where we're talking gaming retro with Mike and Jaymo.
I'm Mike.
And I'm Jaymo. Today we're highlighting the superstars and Nintendo duds of all 30 games from the last 15 episodes in what we are calling our 16th-bit Retro-Spective season finale. If you like what you hear or just want to support a couple of guys in the STEM and teaching fields, give that like and subscribe button a little tap right now. It would mean a lot to us. Mike, season three was a big season for us, and I know we crossed a few things off your bucket list. How's it feel to be at the finish line of season three?
It is always good to be at the end of the season. As fun as this is, it's nice to have a little bit of a break.
Yeah, we work hard on this show, and I hope you guys appreciate it. And we definitely appreciate you listening and you participating. Our community just kind of continues to swell, but it's like a good swelling. It's not like an itchy swelling. So thanks to our wonderful guest from season three. We are so excited to treat our listeners to a return of one of our most popular segments, a secret Mike no longer has to keep. Guest hosts, trivia showdown, all about the games from season three. Mike, would you like to introduce our, as you so eloquently put it, guest hosts host?
Yes. My wife Kat is making her return appearance as the host of this.
Yay.
I get to be your Adriana. Wait, no, that's an Australian reference. Vanna White.
Go with the Australian reference. Maybe that'll help us break into that country better.
Yeah, we could use the Australian audience. What game show was she on, Kat?
Wheel of Fortune.
Oh, but
Oh, okay.
Australian Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, she did the number. She did the letters for Wheel of Fortune.
And it's weird because Australian Wheel of Fortune, like half the words end in O.
And I imagine the wheel turns the other direction, right? Isn't that how that works?
Yeah, Coriolis effect. Yes. More than just doing this, this also means Kat has been keeping track of. So what this is questions from many of our guests from this season. And as I pointed out when I surprised brought her on last time, if I was checking to make sure files were fine, that would probably not be fair. So Kat has gone through and made sure that we've got everything we need and done bits of the checking that I can't, which means Kat knows what we're about to hear, which last time had a lot of fun surprises. So I was going to ask her how much she likes knowing what's going to happen for like a week before I do.
This is fun and awesome, and I get to be a little bit evil.
Well, you are awesome, Kat, for doing this. You know, they say behind every great man is a good woman, and it's also true for Mike. So thank you. And I am excited to play this game again. Mike, I'm gonna beat you this year. You crushed me pretty solidly last year.
I have my scorecard.
All right, I'm ready.
Okay, so let's jump straight in here, and here is our first clip.
Hi guys, it's RiRiYells from Twitch. I loved playing Link's Awakening with you guys this season, and we discussed the enemies quite a bit. Which of these enemies most resembles a mushroom? Is it A, the Dark Nut, B, the Tektite, C, the Octorok, or D, the Bomber?
Yay, Riri question. It didn't feel right last time to not have her in there. So who guesses first?
So we'll do the same thing we did last time, which was alternating. I will go first because I don't feel confident on this one, and that seems like the fair way to start this off. I am going to say D.
The bobber?
Yeah.
Okay. I was leaning towards D as well because I'm trying to picture mushroom shaped. I know Link's Awakening was the one with the Mario references. So I was expecting Goomba to be one of the choices. So when it wasn't, I was a bit thrown off. Darknut, Tektite, Octorok, or Bobber. I don't want to start off on a tie. So I am going to say, I guess it could still be a tie if we're both wrong. I'm going to guess it is the Darknut.
What letter was that?
A.
That was the other one I was considering because I know the middle two were Tektite and Octorok. And Octorok is an octopus, and Tektite is, I think, spider-like because that's the thing that's like a Tektite, which are these like bits of rock that come off of meteor impacts.
Yeah, I remember you talking about that with like I think the first Zelda episode we did together with Riri.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, I'm going A, Mike's going D.
And here is the answer.
The answer was D, the Bomber. Hope you guys are having fun.
Did she say bomber? Because I swear the question said bobber.
I thought it was Bomber the first time.
I wouldn't have gotten it right either way. Okay, well done, Mike. And such a fun episode. What a way to kick off season 3, right?
Yeah. I always enjoy having her back as our Zelda consultant.
She's just a good time. Thank you, Riri.
All right, let's jump into our next question.
Hey, Mike and Jaymo, it's Derick McDuff from the Underrated Movie Podcast. We played The Legend of Zelda Link's Awakening. There's a mini game in that game where you can play a claw machine called the Trendy Game. And if you have Marin with you when you do it, she will actually play the game. My question for you is, if Marin plays the game, what item does she grab? Is it A, hearts, B, magic powder, C, the Yoshi doll provided it's still available, if not she will grab 30 rupees, or D, does she skip all of the items and instead grab the NPC that is the shopkeeper of the game?
I am going to go with D, the shopkeeper.
Both that and the second to last one both feel tempting because neither of those are run of the mill, just like another thing it could be. I'm going to guess C.
The Yoshi doll provided is still available, otherwise you get 30 rupees.
Yeah, I'm picking the one with a flowchart.
All right, well, let's see.
That's so you, Mike.
Yeah, it's just his brain. It's amazing.
All right, here's the answer.
And of course, the answer is D. Marin forgoes all of the items and reaches over and grabs the shopkeeper, which causes a pretty great scene where the shopkeeper kicks Link and Marin out and they kind of run out together giggling. It's a very nice moment between these characters, and one of the many reasons that Marin is one of my favorite NPCs in any Zelda game. Hope you guys got this one. Reminded me of how fun that episode was to record with you guys. Congrats once again on a great season. Looking forward to the next one. Have a good one, guys.
Oh, Derick, you are such a good egg. I remember how badly you wanted to be on this episode, and that means so much to me that like you believe in the show and enjoy it that much, that it was important, and it's just important to me that you just keep coming back. And thank you for having Mike and I and Riri on your podcasts. It just warms my heart to see both of our little communities grow together.
Yeah, they've done 2 episodes together now, I believe.
Yeah, they did Ace Attorney and Box Trolls.
Which I still need to watch Ace Attorney, but I watched Box Trolls to watch that episode, or listen to that episode, rather.
Yeah, that's the one I fell asleep in, and Derick was like, Riri's gonna be pissed. And she was. But anyway, I'm sure I deserve it. All right. So, tie game.
Yes. Okay, so next question jumps into the next episode.
Hey, I'm Kyle,
And I'm Sarah.
and we were on the Mario Party episode. And I have a question for everyone. On the original Japanese version of Mario Party, what sound did Wario make that was in the Japanese version but was considered too much for the American version? They had to change it. Number 1, oh. Number 2, B, oh my god. Number 3, no way. And number 4, Mamma Mia. What do you think?
Incredible. I really hope the AI turns Kyle going, oh, into a TikTok. All right. So Mike guesses first.
Yeah. I feel like it's gonna have to, yeah.
I know what you're thinking, and I'm thinking the same thing.
I think I'm guessing A.
Oh, the O?
Yeah.
Interesting. That is not what I was thinking. I'm going to guess C, oh my God, because I feel like that fits in with what we've learned of Nintendo trying to take religion out of games.
That was B.
Are you sure?
I thought C was no way, because I thought it was oh my god, no way, Mamma Mia.
Do you need me to replay the question so you can
Nah.
get your...
I'll trust him. I'll trust him.
Okay, so it was A and B, right?
Yeah.
Okay, and here is the answer.
And the answer is oh my god, considered too controversial for America. Hope you got it right.
I didn't think it would be English.
Well, I mean, even if it was oh my gosh or God or whatever in Japanese, I imagine, they wouldn't want people to translate it.
Yeah, fair point.
Yeah. Oh yeah, pulling ahead. Kyle and Sarah, and my wife Jackie on our Mario Party episode. So much fun. That episode will always hold a special place in my heart because when they came over to drink some brewskis and have some pizza and play Mario Party on the couch, I was having a very rough week and it just warmed my heart. And so if anyone is listening and you've had a rough day or a rough week, if in any small way, we're providing half the joy that those people gave me that night, then this is all worth it. So anyway, I'm getting sentimental. I'm gonna turn 40 soon. I'm gonna take that point and pull into the lead.
All right. And on to the next question.
Hi, Mike and Jaymo. This is Kristal Fields. Thanks again for having me on the show this season. My question is about my favorite thing, which is love. Samus Aran is not always lucky in love, even though she is smart and athletic and beautiful. Who is her one confirmed love interest? Is it Adam Malkovich, Castor Dane, Kevin N. Keane, or Princess Lana? Let me know what you think.
Princess Lana is tempting for the clickbait alone, but I guess first, and I will be guessing A. Adam.
Kevin Keane sounds familiar from something.
He does, doesn't it?
And Princess Lana, if nothing else, is the princess from Captain N, I believe.
Well, does that hurt the case for her or help the case for her?
I feel like I would remember if that had happened on Captain N.
Not aired often.
Yeah, so I am going to go with B because that was like Castor something, and that is a space name thing.
It's a dope name.
It's one of the stars in Gemini.
Neat. All right, here is the answer.
Mike, I think you're going to like this one. The answer is Kevin N. Keane, the Game Master, from Captain N, the Game Master. Not from the cartoon series. No. From the short-lived comic book series of the same name. Samus sees Kevin, gets a little jealous over his relationship with Princess Lana, and in the end asks him to run away with her, which I don't think he does, but who knows what happens when the comic is over. All right, thanks guys. I hope you have a wonderful next season. See you then.
Dang it.
You were going off about Kevin Keane.
Yeah, it's like I know this sounds familiar. I know that the other one is Captain N. I did not think about the comics.
Wow. So I was thrown off by that one because leave a comment if you can confirm this. I swear in the games she had a romantic interest. I think, and Nick would know because he's a big fan of the game Other M. I thought her love interest in Other M became the supercomputer called Adam in Metroid Dread. But maybe it was a different Adam and it was spelled differently or something. But anyway, Mike, you have to love that Captain N shout out.
Yes, I do.
And Kristal, really the ambassador of our show. The first thing people hear when they boot up an episode. Thanks again for letting us use that amazing theme song. It will outlive us all. And it was a great episode having you and Nick.
All right, let's jump into the next question.
Mike and Jaymo, the old switcheroo, I hope that you'll have me back. I'm missing you. I'm sure we could find something, maybe a Kicks mission too. I promise I won't just talk about piss and poo. I got stuff to say. Maybe I'll ask a good question. Maybe that question will have a good lesson. Or more likely, I'll just talk about wrestling. Nah, I'm just messing. Anyway, here's my question. Which Samus power suit upgrade was created as an inventive way to overcome game system limitations? A, the wave beam, B, the morph ball, C, the spring ball, or D, the screw attack?
I need to remember those options again.
There was wave beam, morph ball, screw attack, and there was something in between the two.
Spring ball, I think.
Spring ball. That's one I didn't write down fast enough. Wave beam, morph ball, spring ball, screw attack.
I have such little idea. I think all of these involve parts of the game that I didn't get far enough into. I am going to go with the morph ball because I think that's a thing and I hope it's a right thing.
I will also be agreeing with you because so the morph ball is just, if I remember correctly, just when you press the down button, which is the very first power up you get. So you got that at least. But in my head, it's like if they wanted her to crawl through small spaces and that took a lot of animation, and replacing her with a single ball that doesn't have to be animated individually, limbs and whatnot, I could see that saving time and resources. So I will be agreeing with you, morph ball.
All right, here's the answer.
B, the morph ball, the Maru Mari. Really, really quick lesson on how that came to be. They were trying to figure out a way to make Samus crawl. Just 8 bits to play with. It wasn't working at all. So they came up with the morph ball, and look, it became iconic. I even see how it could be the genesis of Sonic. Really though, Mike and Jaymo, thank you for having me on. Y'all are freaking awesome, and your show's the freaking bomb.
Wow.
I have goosebumps. We have to set that to a beat and share this with the universe. That was so. I could even see it being the genesis of Sonic. Are you competing with Kristal for clever puns on this show? That is, oh, Nick.
Wow.
Nick. I loved the episode that you did, but I might have loved that last 2 minutes even more. You stunned Mike. You stunned him. He's got no words.
You really see why Kat enjoys knowing that this stuff's coming when we don't.
Oh, so good. So good. Thank you, Nick.
So this is part of my fun, is I get to share your reactions. All right, on to the next question here.
Do I get a bonus point for calling exactly why was the answer?
No.
Dang it.
All right, here we go, guys.
Nope, none of that. That song is copywritten to hell and back, and I do not want to piss off the algorithm. Anyway, much better. Greetings, Mike and Jaymo. This is Warboss 5, and I'm here to help you celebrate your 3rd year anniversary. Without further ado, my question. Phantasy Star 4 had some serious anime energy, what with a bunch of young people setting out to kill God. But how young were they? More specifically, who was the youngest party member in the game? Is it A, Chaz the Hunter Apprentice, B, Han the Magical College Student, C, Rika the Bioconstruct, or D, Grizz the Motavian Soldier? For bonus points, tell me why I picked the music at the start of my question, beyond an attempt to sabotage the show with copyright claims, of course.
It's too good. It's too good. My answer is going to be C, Rika.
I think that's where I'm going as well, because that's, as a construct, that can mean built very recently.
Right. It makes sense lore-wise. And then, so I'm like, she's a robot, so she's either interestingly old, like thousands of years old, or she's like 3 days old or something. But like, I do feel like that falls into kind of that anime trope. But then why Star Wars at the beginning of the clip? I feel like there's got to be something there.
I'm thinking it is because we specifically discussed the planets that you go to in this game mirroring a Star Wars pattern. Although, honestly, there's several things we talked about. That doesn't mean it's actually Han, does it?
Right, the characters were essentially also parallels.
Yeah, but Han's not Han. Now I'm worried that Han... He's playing mind games with us.
You ready for the answer?
I'm ready.
Yeah, okay.
The correct answer is C, Rika the Android. While the manual states that Rika has spent a lifetime inside an underground computer complex, that same manual states that the lifetime has only lasted a single solitary year, making her, by far, the youngest member of the party. The bonus answer is that it was a reference to our episode, where we talked about how there was a strange amount of overlap between the cast of Phantasy Star 4 and the cast of Star Wars.
Ryan, you always impress. Like, you are so freaking funny. And I will never forget your dedication to, I'm going to say to us, when you had to restart Phantasy Star 4 after being, I think, 6 or 7 hours in because that was the game where you only save by pressing pause, but there's no indication you should be doing that. And then you turned off the Switch before you remembered you could rewind and fix that problem. It was just, I love War Boss 5 episodes, and I want more.
He brings such energy into these questions.
He does. He does. I was wondering if there was going to be a return of the characters from last time, but like I like this one equally. It's so good, amazing.
This is why I'm enjoying this. All right, into the next question.
Hello again, it's RiRiYells from Twitch. I was super happy to be able to do a second Zelda episode with you guys this season, so I'd like to ask you a question about one of my all-time favorite games, Ocarina of Time. As a kid, I always loved riding Epona around. So in the game, how do you gain access to Epona? Is it A, you escape from Lon Lon Ranch, B, you let Malon play your ocarina, C, you win her in a shooting minigame, or D, you have to complete the full trading sequence quest?
Well, you go first.
All right. Well, here's the fun part. I don't know.
I remember you don't know. There was a whole conversation on that episode about how you never saved Epona because you're a heartless monster.
I didn't know I needed to. I guess I'll go training sequence because it feels like it should be more involved than the shooting thing, and I don't think it's the others. But yeah, I don't know.
Well, the good news is I know you're wrong because I did not complete the trading quest and I got Epona. So now this is a unique opportunity to kind of pull ahead. I remember there was a dramatic moment in the game. Nah, you can't change your answer. I see the face you're making.
I heard training quest, not trading quest, and I would have guessed C in that case, but I don't think it's going to help.
I also don't think it was win the shooting challenge because I vaguely remember that there was a cinematic element of when you get Epona, and I believe it's because you get locked into Malon Ranch and you and her both escape, and then she's your horse from then on. So I'm gonna guess A, escape from Lon Lon Ranch.
I do like the let play your ocarina as a statement, though.
Why?
Mostly because it reminds me of the first time I went to the Ren Fair and there was a woman selling like roasted almonds or something, just yelling, "I can suck," and then she would suck one of the almonds, and then she'd say, "And I can blow," and then she would blow an ocarina.
Mike, former students listen to this podcast. What are you doing right now? Jesus, okay.
I'm promoting the Ren Fair.
Sure. Okay. Listen, algorithm and anyone pissed off. He said it. I didn't.
If the algorithm got past Star Wars, we're good.
God. A, Cat, please, the answer.
All right, the answer was A, you escape with her from Lon Lon Ranch. Jaymo would have known that if he had bothered to go get her. Bye, guys. Have fun.
What was this slander? Mike is the one who didn't save Epona. I saved Epona, damn it. Is she trolling me or did she did she actually not remember that?
She referenced this elsewhere, and I'm like, correction, I am the one that failed to do that. And then she's like, oh, well, then I got it wrong in what I recorded, but feel free to roast me for it. So...
I mean, look, my trolling of Riri is long and historic on the show, so I definitely deserve the confusion. But so good. I feel like now balance has been restored to the universe because we weren't able to get her on the first time, and now we get two. So we are still net positive, Riri.
And let's jump in to the next one.
It's KylTheSheikah. I'm Kyl, I'm the Sheikah, and I play Zelda games, primarily randomizers. I was a guest on the 7th episode of Season 3 titled Ocarina of Time, or Time to Kill, with the Old SwitchAroo official Zelda consultant, RiRiYells. My question for you is, what song did Darunia, leader of the Gorons, name a hot beat? Is it A, Saria's song, B, Zelda's Lullaby, C, the Song of Storms, or D, Epona's song?
Well, I am going to guess. Ooh, I'm gonna guess. Oh, dang it! It's between two. Okay, I just have to make a decision. C, Song of Storms.
Okay, I am going to say, because this is I thought this is relatively early on that I think I played this before getting Song of Storms. I think it's Saria's song because I think it's a thing that you can hear coming through like some of the tunnels.
Okay. I'll be really mad because that was my second choice. So let's see.
Let's find out.
The answer is A, Saria's song. When Darunia hears Link perform the song taught to him by his friend back in the forest, he can't help but be pulled out of his depression and dance to the hot beat. How'd you do? Did you get it right? Also, thank you so much for having me as a guest on the podcast, and congratulations for 3 seasons of the Old Switcharoo. Happy gaming.
Well, I'm upset, but not because of Kill. Because I was trying to think if there was like some kind of pun involved. And I was like, oh, storms, lightning, hot, but that doesn't make sense because storms are more known for rain for that. All right, well done. But Kill, I just really appreciate you being one of the earliest supporters of the show, right, Mike?
Yeah, I do appreciate because she will mention this when I'm in her chat. So actually, she is right now. So that if you're listening to this now, this has already happened because we're not live. She's right now doing a 24-hour stream to mark hitting 1,000 followers on Twitch. And so when I stopped by to wish her luck on that early on, she did plug that she was on the show, that people wanted to go see more Zelda content. So I always appreciate that. Very supportive. It's weird now because I can watch her streams and I know what's happening with Ocarina of Time because I did not know for a very long time. And they go through that game real fast. So you don't get any of the plot bits.
Right.
That's why I have to play it so I can understand what's going on.
Have you never played Zelda, Cat?
I have not.
Oh. Any form of it?
None. In the new year, I'm hoping to start at least playing it, if not streaming it.
I think you'd like it. I feel like you have a appreciation for that aesthetic.
Yeah, so I'm not sure which one I'm going to start with. Everybody tells me not to start with the first one.
Because they're right.
You could start the one that Mike is also starting and get your take on it. That'd be interesting.
So yeah, it'll be probably in the new year before I get a chance to start it though.
Right on.
All right. Now back on track, and here is the next question.
Hi guys, Timmy Williams here from The Whitest Kids You Know and Urn Full of Popcorn, my horror movie podcast with my friend Shandy. Anyways, when we played Kung Fu Heroes for the NES, Jaymo dropped some interesting knowledge. He told us that Game Machine Magazine, which is apparently a real magazine, had named Kung Fu Heroes the most successful tabletop machine of October 1984, narrowly beating out Konami's Super Basketball and beating out which, quote, titillating mahjong simulator, unquote. Was it A, Sexy Mahjong, B, Night Gal, C, Mahjong for Your Dong, or D, Sexy Game Gals?
Oh my God. Mike asked me to not make noise while they're playing, and that third choice, I almost choked. I've never seen Mike laugh this hard. Oh my gosh. Incredible. Incredible. This is a moment in my life. Oh, Timmy, you don't understand what you just did to me.
You know, the great part is he could have chosen to ask questions about Ninja Gaiden, the well-known game.
Yeah.
And
we got gold, Mike. It's your choice, your guess.
I am pretty sure it's Night Gal.
It is. It absolutely is.
What one was Night Gal?
It's B.
All right, let's find out.
For the answer, let's go back to the tape. I've always wanted to say that.
Nichibutsu's titillating mahjong simulator, Night Gal.
Yes, the answer is B, Night Gal, which then led us to this weird/disgusting conversation.
You a fan of Night Gal, Timmy?
I don't know about that one. Is it similar to Gal's Panic or what?
That's kind of that gal genre, yeah, but it's just a mahjong thing.
The Gal genre. Can I call pornography that? Like, I don't watch porn, okay? I'm a fan of the gal genre.
I watch a gal genre. Yeah, keep it classy.
So there's my contribution to this trivia thing. And hey, Mike and Jaymo, congratulations on your 3rd season wrapping up of your delightful podcast. And I hope my prize for this trivia round was adequate. Wait, was I supposed to send a prize?
Mike, I have so much to say, but I'm gonna let you go first.
So pleased that Timmy's been a part of this. One of those things that took a while to line up, and I still can't believe it did. So glad that we threw in Kung Fu Heroes into that episode because it's like we need something to make that fun, and oh, Timmy certainly did that.
And how? Mike, I'm not being hyperbolic, I'm being sincere. Whitest Kids You Know is, I think, one of the funniest shows ever made. And I I feel like those guys are just icons. I don't want to get too weird because I want them to come back and I don't want to be weirded out by me. But like, if you asked me if I could get any comedians on the show, I wouldn't think to ask for them because I wouldn't have think to dream that big. Like, it's so crazy to hear Timmy Williams saying my name and quoting a joke that we made together. I'm gonna freaking cry. This is amazing, Timmy.
Yeah, and of course I will mention as a side bit here because he mentioned it when he was on that they had an animated movie that was in the works. And they have recently announced that we'll be getting a distribution deal, which will include a theatrical release in New York, and for us, a theatrical release in LA of some capacity.
Gotta go. We gotta go.
Totally intend to. So I'm looking forward to hearing that detail come at some point. But their movie Mars, it will be coming out somewhere soon-ish.
Yeah, and it's gonna be incredible. Like it seems like such a fun premise. I wanted to share something with you, Mike. I think based on Earnful of Popcorn, Timmy will also appreciate this. Okay, Mike, can you see the image that I created with Gemini here? It is an art gallery with 4 frames on the wall.
Yeah, so the first one is the cover image from our episode with Timmy.
Mike and Jaymo were on the Old Switcharoo with Timmy Williams, who was on The Whitest Kids You Know, Season 2 with Jenny Slate, who was in Despicable Me 3 with Steve Carell, who was in Crazy Stupid Love with who, Mike?
I'm going to presume that Kevin Bacon's in that for the premise here.
Yeah. Like, because of Timmy's star power and your hard work on the show, we are 3 degrees away from Kevin Bacon.
I think I already was.
Oh, what? How?
Actually, I guess we both were for counting podcasts at that point. Because I think Brian's 2 degrees away.
Oh, because of Star Trek.
Yeah.
You know what? I just really am honored that Timmy spent that time with us. And how cool to have something from a person to whom I'm a true fan. So thank you so much, Timmy.
Yeah, it has been weirdly a large amount of mileage out of that episode because you did bring up their YouTube videos that have been getting uploaded.
Yeah.
And I have on multiple occasions been able to be like, when someone's asking about the online, be like, oh, actually, we talked with Timmy about that, and he said this is how those are getting uploaded. And so that has gotten that episode more than a couple plugs.
Nice. We'll take all we can get.
Oh, yeah.
And don't forget to like or subscribe if you're enjoying this.
Yeah, and share it. And yeah, his podcast, Earnful of Popcorn, is also thoroughly enjoyable. I was watching another one of the movies they covered last night.
Jackie and I are going to watch Texas Chainsaw 2 together to enjoy that episode. And I also listened to their Black Phone episode. And it's just, the 2 of them are just so good. It's a good listen, good fun time.
Yeah, it's just a lot of, I'd like to just hear Timmy talk about movies more. And then like when he released the podcast and it was like, oh wait, you have the podcast is out. It's like, you aren't already listening. It's like, no, I didn't know yet. So.
Ready for the next one?
What's up, Switcharoosters? Mike and Jaymo, how are you guys doing? It's me, Nate, from TrailerBoyz and Midhunters, obviously. You may recall we played a rad game called Blast Corps from my past core. And while there were some interesting characters that were playable with some cool names like J-Bomb or some kind of basic and boring names like Sideswipe, there were some hidden playable vehicles that were roughly based on popular television shows at the time. Now, what 3 television shows were these vehicles based on?
All right, so I don't think we have answer choices.
Nope, this one you just have to
I can do it. I'll guess, and then you can decide whether or not to agree with me as if it was multiple choice.
Yeah, give me a moment as I'm thinking. So I know I think I've got all three as well.
I absolutely have all three.
Okay, so if you feel more confident, I'll go through this and you can tell me where I'm wrong.
You won't be. Go ahead.
Okay, I know the A-Team's van is in this.
Correct.
And I know that we talk about how they repurposed the General Lee from Dukes of Hazzard to be pro-American.
Indeed.
So the third one's the one I'm not certain about because I think it's a more basic car. I'm going to guess Starsky and Hutch.
And I am going to agree. Dang it. I thought I saw a moment of weakness there.
I was very uncertain on that last one.
Well, you're going to be proud of yourself.
All right, here we go.
Okay, how'd we do? I don't know if this was easy or hard because one of them didn't really look like the car from the show. So obviously we have the black van with the red stripe being from the A-Team. We have the red muscle car with the white stripe being from Starsky and Hutch. But then finally, we get this 70s kind of classic muscle car with an American flag on it. And that actually was based on Dukes of Hazzard. They didn't use the orange with the Confederate flag, but that is what that is supposed to be referencing. So how'd you do?
I mean, we did great. And Mike, Nate was another one you were super excited to get, having been a fan of his streams for so long.
Yeah. And of course, he talks about TrailerBoyz, which as of like a week ago or 2 weeks ago, I have dropped from being top of the leaderboard for this season, which was coming. But
wait, did you say you were temporarily at the top of the leaderboard?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, it's to 100 points, and I crossed 50 before anybody else. And the top of the leaderboard has tightened. So I have no hopes in my mind of winning that, but I stayed in the lead much longer. I feel kind of like, you ever see one of those videos of someone at a marathon, like the one dude who decides to run as fast as he can at the beginning and gets out, and then like 3 blocks overhead gets overtaken by like 50 people. Like that's kind of where I'm feeling on this right now. It's like, you know what? I was never going to win, but I was in the lead for a bit, which is more than not being in the lead for a bit.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. You keep doing so well on that. I'm going to make you change your username to something that promotes the podcast. But yeah, Nate, like I love when, meeting new people through the show, and I've checked out a couple of the TrailerBoyz episodes, and I just think, going back to Captain N, what a concept, right? Like that's such a good idea for a show, and you and Sam just have such good chemistry. So thank you so much for being a part of our show, and thank you for being so entertaining.
TrailerBoyz on Sundays on Twitch.
There it is.
And it is hosted on the official WKUK Twitch channel. When Whitest Kids does other stuff, it's on there. Since not mentioned here, but discussed when we had him on, Nate is Sam's brother, and Sam was also in Whitest Kids
Yeah. Happy mid hunting, though. Also love that concept. The mid, as someone who considers himself a little mid, I appreciate you looking for the underappreciated middle ground.
Yeah, we'll be out in October. So I think he'll be streaming a lot of mid horror for October.
And there's a lot of it.
Oh, yeah.
Do you have the score, Kat? I think I'm still slightly in the lead.
Yeah, it's Mike is 6 and you have 7.
Yeah.
That doesn't include if we want to add that bonus point from Ryan, which would just bump your scores up by 1. So.
I think we should do it because then we both have 1 more point.
Heck yeah. All right, I have 8, Mike has 7.
Yeah. All right, here we go. Next question.
Hey guys, it's Andrew from Nothing New. When we talked about Clue Clue Land, you'd mentioned that Bubbles, the protagonist of Clue Clue Land, one of the earliest female protagonists in a video game ever. And they don't even bring it up in the game. So I challenge you to name as many female protagonists in video games as you can, going back and forth one at a time. Whoever won the last trivia question can start. And let's take a few off the board, the ones that we discussed in the episode: Lara Croft, Ms. Pac-Man, and of course, Bubbles can't be used as answers, but any of the others are fair game. As many as you can. Good luck. Have fun.
I like this. That's creative. Okay. So we both got the last trivia question correct.
Yeah.
Do we want to go with Jeremy's up?
Oh, sure. Now the person in the lead goes first.
He said the person who won the last question.
That's true. So if we go back to ties. All right. Not counting Lara Croft, Miss Pac-Man, or Bubbles, I will start with Bayonetta.
I will go with Princess Peach because she's had her own game.
Okay, then I will go Daisy, who is often her companion.
What were the ones we couldn't say? Were which three? Was it
Lara Croft, Miss Pac-Man, and Bubbles?
Okay, Samus.
Rosalina.
I feel like you're starting to stretch your definition of leading main character.
Did he say leading ladies, or did he just say female? Oh, he said female protagonist, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay, all right. I'll take Rosalina off the table then, because you've been able to play Daisy in a couple of Mario games. So I will respect the game, and I will say Chun-Li from Street Fighter. That's fair.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then I will go with, I don't know how to say it. It's like Shantae. It's like the side-scrolling like genie that like whips her hair.
Yeah, Shantae. I'm good with that. Well, then let's go next to... Are we counting Commander Shepard? Because most people play that character, I think, as a female.
I mean, honestly, I would take that more than I would have taken Chun-Li, I think.
Okay, Commander Shepard.
Hey, where I'm like, oh, that one from, I don't remember the name. I know Star Wars Starfighter is like the default is a female character, but I don't remember her name because I just accepted the default and moved on because I don't care about the person. I care about the ship. So that's not helpful for this.
Is the ship female?
I mean, in a way.
The spaceships fall under that? Because I know, like, ships are a she. Does that also count on spaceships?
Yes, because they described the Millennium Falcon as she may not look like much, but she's got it where it counts. So yes.
Solo canonically establishes that the computer of that ship is a female droid.
Yeah.
You giving up, Mike?
No, I'm just trying to pad long enough to try to come up with something else.
I tried to help.
There are so many games where I'm like, even that. God dang it.
I think in the interest of the show flow, we should put a timer on this.
Just editing for me.
We're here 2 hours later.
Yeah, it's gonna be 20 seconds in the edit. Shell from Portal.
Okay. Yeah. Shell. Yeah. So then I am going to go with, I mean, Kasumi is the protagonist of the Dead or Alive series, but I kind of feel like the fighting game route is a bit dirty. So I'm okay to abandon the fighting game route, or do I get one last one with Kasumi, the protagonist of Dead or Alive?
Yeah, we'll give you one last one with that.
Okay, no more fighting game characters for me, but if you want to get a couple in, I understand.
Then I guess just to sort of balance things off in that category, is Jade a female character out in Mortal Kombat? I'm just going through the Mortal Kombat song in my head.
Jade is. She's the green ninja.
All right.
I think calling her a protagonist is a bit of a stretch, but considering I've done 2 fighting game characters, I'm going to allow it.
Kind of. I'm on the ropes anyway.
Okay. So I'm going to go Blaze from Streets of Rage.
Yeah, that's fair. I'm going to tap out of that because it's like I have so many games that are, which is like, I don't remember what any of these names are.
Yeah.
Games that I've talked about on light switches and stuff and all kinds of things where it's like, yeah, there was, I don't remember any of their names. So yeah, I am going to tap out at that point.
Well, I'll just go for the kill shot and say Tyrus Flare from Golden Axe.
Yeah, I was trying to remember her name as soon as you did the Golden or Street Fighter. I was like, it's something, and I don't remember.
All right.
I'm like, I can think of several. I'm not playing. Don't know any of their names though because I'm not a gamer.
Yeah, no, it's like there's a nonogram like / mystery solving game that I played, and it's like that like the central character that I don't remember her name.
You hung in there, considering how much more of like I'm an overall gamer I am. Like you actually you had me thinking for a second. So Well done.
Okay, my knowledge comes from, that would make a cute cosplay.
None more righteous, if you ask me.
I mean, I know there was one of the Assassin's Creed.
Yeah.
Is it Rogue? Had a female protagonist in it, because I really want to make that jacket.
Oh, that'd be dope.
I was even just stuff where it's like, hey, there's that popular game now where the main character is a woman with schizophrenia. I'm like, that's not a name. That's a large description.
Or a hell of a name. You got some mean parents.
Yeah.
Also, as an Australian, I feel like I should mention Cammy. I don't know what game she was from, but she was played by Kylie in the movie.
In Street Fighter?
Oh, actually, Mike, it was Super Street Fighter 2 that added her. I get another point.
Was the movie called that?
I mean, the movie is super, so.
And I mean, way too many. It's another one of those very highly cosplayed characters. So
yeah, I'll post a picture of my Cammy cosplay after we're done recording.
Is it canon?
Jaymo also knows all those characters for cute cosplay.
Exactly.
That's one of those cosplays that are always interesting at conventions, because if it's played correctly, it's also not safe for conventions.
Right.
All right, let's jump into the next question.
Howdy, boys. This is Chico DeMar from WetFrontier.com, splashing my way in here to ask a question about F-Zero 99. Start your engines, boys. When we played F-Zero 99, what is the BS F-Zero vehicle you can unlock for Dr. Stewart's Golden Fox? A. The Green Amazon. B. The Luna Bomber. C. The Blue Thunder. Or D. The Fire Scorpion. Time is running out.
As soon as this question started down that path, I knew I was in trouble, because I knew we were heading from F-Zero 99 being said. I'm like, this is going to be about those things, isn't it? And I don't remember them. And I'm trying to guess one that sounds familiar. We may have been given all 4 alternate vehicles, in which case that's a bad strategy. So I'm going to guess C, which was the Blue Thunder, because I feel like I've heard that. And that is the most I have to go on this.
Well, I'm pretty confident that it's not the Blue Thunder, because that would be the alternate skin for Captain Falcon's machine, which is the Blue Falcon. And then the Green Amazon, that would have been the one, the Pico, the aliens. Fire Scorpion would have been Samurai Goro's alternate one. So the only one left would be Luna Bomber. Dr. Stewart is the yellow car, and I could see the moon being also kind of yellow tinted. That would make sense as a name. So pretty confident Luna Bomber B.
All right, let's find out.
The answer was B, son. The Luna Bomber, son. I say, the original close-up of this render has fire decals on the 4 engines. That was just a fun fact. Happy trails, son.
It really transitioned over into Foghorn Leghorn by the end.
I mean, Chico's a character. Chico creates incredible characters. If you enjoyed that kind of Looney Tune-esque personality just brought to the show, be sure to check out Wet Frontier. Every panel of that comic just bleeds fun and personality. And what an artistic talent. Chico is special to me for a number of reasons. One, I believe maybe the only person other than Mike and I who's listened to all of our episodes. So that alone, like, God bless you. But also the only person to do guest cover art. The F-Zero cover art that you made for our episode is stunning. It puts my trace doodles to shame, but it is just, you're such a talent, and keep creating, keep coming back. You mean the world to us.
And if you think you've also listened to all the episodes, tell us in the Discord.
Yeah, and rate or something. Give us a like.
Yeah. Tell some people. Stupid, all of them being things. I didn't even realize that they were like color matched like that. Like, I didn't even know that was a strategy that could be done.
Well, you poo-pooed me when I said that it was the 4 colors of the Famicom, and that's, I think, why it was burned into my brain, as I was thinking of them distinctly as red, blue, yellow, green.
I mean, those are just like the 4 colors you do.
That's what you said, but who remembered it and who forgot just now?
I didn't know they kept them as the same colors, is what I'm saying.
Gotcha.
Like, not that it's not the same four. It's like I didn't know it was a, oh, these are still, this one's still blue, this one's still red, whatever.
Yeah.
That's what happens. All right, here we go. Let's get into the next question.
Hey, Mike and Jaymo. I had a great time talking about the Wily Wars with you and all things Mega Man. I have a question that I don't think either of you are going to get. After you beat Mega Man 1, 2, and 3, you're presented with 3 bosses. Buster Rod G, Mega Water S, and Hyperstorm H. They are all part of what Wily unit? What is the name of the Wily unit that they are part of?
Really hoping to get some answer choices on that one. And I go first?
I mean, it ain't gonna matter, but yeah.
Well, I remember he said they're like the Mavericks from Super Nintendo, but they aren't. They are it's a one word. It's something unit. It's like killer unit or heavy. No, not heavy. I don't think they'd say killer. That seems too violent. So I am going to say Storm unit. No, because Hyperstorm. No, it wouldn't be Storm because Storm is already one of their names. They wouldn't do that. I'll say killer unit because it's the best guess I can think of at the moment. Killer unit.
Okay. And as you brought up, like Maverick, but not. And Maverick was in Top Gun with Goose. So I'm going to say that they're the Geese.
If you get this right, I'm going to be so mad.
If I get this right, I'm going to be mad with that.
All right, let's find out the answer, guys.
The unit that Buster Rod G, Mega Water S, and Hyperstorm H are part of are called the Genesis unit in the United States.
Well, Don, you were right. Neither of us got it. But more importantly, we got you on the show. We really appreciate all the support from the Cable Club League, having Mike and I on in the current season. And, I love you guys so much. You'll even forgive what you've done, placing Brood War above Third Strike. History has its eyes on you, and it will smile upon me one day. But, Mike, how fun is the Cable Club League?
I mean, quite fun, which is probably also why we've had a fair chunk of overlap between guests at this point, since they just had RiRi on to talk about yet another Zelda game. And they also have Derick coming up for Ocarina of Time, I believe.
And Happney was on, albeit briefly, but Happney's submission was WCW NWO Revenge. Yeah, I just, you know what? Just one big happy family of podcasts here. I love it.
All right, let's go into the next one.
Oh, hey guys, it's Cyril from Defunct Games. I don't know, maybe you remember me. We did a episode about the Ghosts and Goblins series. It was good. Maybe a little long. Well, since then, you're just never gonna believe what happened to me. After our chat, get this, somebody broke into my house and just smacked me over the head real hard. And it still hurts. Since then, I've been stuck on this boat in the middle of the ocean, just going nowhere. I've already lost faith that anyone's gonna find me, so instead what I've done is I've come up with a Sir Arthur related question for your big show. Alright, here it is. So in Electronic Gaming Monthly's 100th issue, published back in 1997, they listed out the top 100 best video games ever made. As you'd expect, Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis found its way to a very solid 47th place. And my question to you is this. What place did Super Ghouls and Ghosts show up? I want to see who will come closest to the right answer. And when you're done with that, can you do me a favor and send help? Ugh, I can already hear the thunder behind me, and trust me, you don't want to be on a small boat in the middle of a storm, especially when there's this thing circling the... Look, I'm begging you, just send help.
Well, do we send for help before or after we guess?
I mean, it won't take us that long to guess.
Cyril has mentioned on the Discord, right? He's like, we have proof of life on him, right? That was amazing.
His channel's still uploading, so
okay. But those could have been scheduled. We don't know. He's so organized.
Yeah, but he's on top of the new releases stuff.
All right, good to know. He's hopefully okay. The question was, what place in EGM's top 100 games did they say Super Ghouls and Ghosts was?
Yeah.
I'm going to get pretty close, I think.
This is turning into like a whole Princess Bride cup in front of me kind of thing, where it's like, I know that I did not like Super Ghouls and Ghosts, but I also know that everybody else did. So it's more like than I think it should be, but I don't know how off that is. And this is
So
turning
clearly
into,
you could not drink the cup in front of me.
yeah. And I remember him talking about their overall rankings being really close. Since he's got the overall all reviews averaged for contemporary reviews, and they're pretty close, but with the Genesis one coming out ahead.
Oh, okay. I think I might have been thinking about that number.
I think he gave us that number. This is where I'm not sure about.
Well, throw out a number.
I am going to guess 53.
Ooh, okay. It'll be a tight window. I'm going to stick with my guns and go by the number that I remember from the episode. And even if it was the overall ranking, I feel like that academically is better than just feeling through my guts. So I'm going to say 60.
All right, let's find out how it did.
Hey guys, it's Cyril from Defunct Games again. Have you sent out any help yet? You didn't do anything, did you? You just answered my question. Now you're waiting for the answer, I guess. Well, here it is. Believe it or not, Super Ghouls and Ghosts came in 22nd place, wedged right between Final Fantasy VII at 21 and R-Type 3 at 23. It actually did quite a bit better than Ghouls and Ghosts on the Genesis. Crazy, I know. Now, if you don't mind me, I'm just gonna deal with this nasty leak problem. I tell you, it's always something when you're stuck in the middle of the ocean in a boat.
And still impeccable sound quality from that boat. Incredible.
Yeah. The real cruel part is this has reminded me of another game with a female protagonist that I played recently that I don't remember the character's name of. Much higher than I expected.
Yeah, you were right to think like, oh, people liked it better, even though you and I personally didn't. It was critically better received. Interesting. Yeah, well played. I can't even be mad at that one.
Yeah, and exactly the sort of deep dive into the world of critics that one would expect from him.
Yeah, Defunct Games is just so impeccably researched. Such a fun approach to video game history. Such a important task. I mean, Mike, you and I are kind of trying to document the Nintendo Switch Online, but I think his coverage of coverage. I think it's so cool. And also I always, appreciate when someone's, records a really long episode with us. I like the little dig about how long that episode was. You ain't wrong. But it was one of our best. So thank you, Cyril. You're awesome.
And so many citations in that I actually hit a character limit on the show notes.
Wow, that's a first, isn't it?
Yeah, that's because it's 6,000 characters or something. And there's just so many different articles being referenced in there that I had to get creative in citations.
And don't forget to check out the Kickstarter for the EGM Compendium. I think that's still going if you want to support that and get a copy. Should I check real quick to see if it's still going?
I thought it had already finished.
Oh, shoot. Well, you know something? If it's finished, you can buy the book, because that's the whole point of making the Kickstarter, is to publish the book.
Yeah, I'm doing the quick check.
And then he also, they had a release with Retrobit with Holy Diver. So be sure to check out his wonderful marketing stuff for Retrobit and their wonderful products. You will not be disappointed in the quality of either.
Yeah, I think that one was a little ways back because I've been looking into that because I've been now that is a game where I'm like I do want to check out that game, but I think that version was only was on for original hardware, of which I don't own.
You don't have an NES.
I do not, but I want that game.
But how cool though that they're printing new NES cartridges in the year of our Lord 2025.
Yeah, actually, we're gonna keep that around for wishlist things. I think I may just wishlist that game specifically.
Yeah.
All right, and let's jump in to our last episode.
Hey everyone, Happney here with a question about my game, Kristal. During the game, the main character acquires 4 elemental swords. Which of the following is not one of them? Sword of Earth, Sword of Flame, Sword of Water, or Sword of Wind? Good luck.
Well, I'm going to say that the Sword of Earth, A, was not in Crystalis.
I am going to agree. I was writing that answer down before you spoke because I felt this would be clear that you would know this, having, gotten multiple swords.
Yeah, if anyone would know, it'd be me, not you.
All right, let's find out.
The correct answer is Sword of Earth. That is not one of the swords acquired.
Well, Happney, I really loved our episode. It's always cool when, you know, you introduced me to that game because you picked it. You recognize how awesome it was. And you said that you found your tribe through our podcast, and like it means so much to me that you would call us your tribe. You are just such an easy guy to talk to, and wonderful taste in games, and you're a devoted father, and you're just a good hang. So, Happney, thank you for a wonderful final episode of season 3. I guess if you don't count this one, you really sent us off in style, and thank you for always being, connected to us. It means a lot.
Yeah, and I think it's one of the few ones where the person we've had on wanted to come talk about a game that they didn't have nostalgia to. It's just an old game they like.
Yeah, they just found it on Nintendo Switch Online, and the rest is modern history. So cool.
The appeal of finding games through Nintendo Switch Online. Why aren't they sponsoring us?
Come on, Nintendo. Sponsor me at least. Mike says some weird stuff sometimes, but sponsor me.
Or alternatively, if any Ren fairs would like to sponsor us. We're not picking on who, really.
No.
All right. So before I give you the scores, I've got one final bonus question.
I knew you had something up your sleeve, Kat. I could feel it.
Here is our bonus question.
Hey, it's RiRiYells from Twitch. I loved playing Link's Awakening with you guys so much that I wanted to ask if you remembered what year the game came out. Did it come out in A, 1993, B, 1998, or C, 2019?
I wonder if she's being clever, because
I think I have the answer here.
Okay.
I think that the answer is D, all of the above.
Well, she didn't say that, but is that an option?
She didn't say it, but...
Because 93 would have been the original, 98 would have been the Link's Awakening DX that we played, and then 2019. Oh, you sly minx, Riri. Wow, you should have. Yeah, I agree with Mike. Very clever. Because 2019 was the Switch re-release.
No.
All right. This one was impossible to get wrong. They were all correct. Link's Awakening was originally released in 1993. The Game Boy Color version came out in 1998. And the Switch remake was released in 2019.
I like that. A twist right at the end. Well, Kat, you have our scores, do you not? I think I'm going to be excited.
I do. So, with a grand total of 13, Mike came in second place. And Jeremy pulled out 17 with that slightly better list
of
that's
not
female
slightly.
characters. No, the slightly better list of characters helped
Yeah.
you get that lead, as well as getting a couple more questions right.
All right.
Towards the end there.
If it wasn't for the questions you got right, I would have won this.
Yeah, so I'm like, teaching would be great if it weren't for the kids. Like,
this job would be great if it wasn't for the customers.
Exactly. Was that Clerks?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, that is so fun. Thank you, everybody who contributed to that wonderful game and this wonderful season. And we would be remiss to not shout out the people who were also on the show and didn't have a guest host question. But Colleen, if you're listening, it was so wonderful to connect with you. You shared so many anecdotes about Pilot Wings, the connection you had through your family. And we got to do that pass the controller multiplayer where we, tried to create a crash scenario and then pass the controller to Mike and see if he could salvage it. It was just so fun. So it's such a good time. So Colleen, you're the best.
And then we had the Kid Icarus episode with Josh from the Still Loading podcast and Dexter, who have done a lot of Captain N stuff, which really was just an excuse to have a Captain N episode. And then accidentally, we talked about Captain N on like 3 other episodes this season, which was, I don't think, ever my doing.
Yeah.
like other people made it happen, and I was just on board for it every time. As Jaymo died a little inside each time.
Well, you know what makes me the opposite of dying inside is Dempsey and coming on to talk about Super Mario World. I had mixed feelings because there was a moment there where we were going to try to do our games out of or in order of release, but you brought so much enthusiasm for Super Mario World and you had such an academic take on it. So the Overthinking Games podcast is, your deal. And I don't think you overthink anything. I think you think of things exactly the right amount. And I appreciate you bringing your font of knowledge or fount of knowledge, font of knowledge. Anyway, it was a great episode. Thank you for everything you brought to it.
Solid lineup of guests.
Super solid, beyond solid, rock hard. Kat, you are so wonderful. This is a lot of work putting this show together, but particularly this episode with all the glitches and file organization. And so I just want to say thank you, and that I appreciate you.
Yeah, it's one of those things that I have no idea why it didn't work. I tested it last night and it worked fine. So
I'm going to cut out the parts that didn't work, so don't apologize for that. That's the magic of editing.
You did wonderful.
We have glitches, but hey, that is how things work.
Yeah, that's life, right?
So,
it's learning to dance through the glitches.
And this time she did much better not laughing loud enough I heard it from a different room.
Knowing a couple of those were coming up, I'm looking forward to seeing their reactions to these.
And Kat, people should check out your YouTube channel, Kat Can Sew. Looks like you're working on something right now. Do you have any projects you're going to be unveiling in late October?
No, I'm solely trying to work on getting some finishes at the moment, and mostly in October I'm going to be working on a couple of secret projects.
If cross-stitching is your thing, be sure to check out her YouTube channel, Kat Can Sew, K-A-T Can Sew, S-E-W.
Yes, and then hopefully some point by the end of the year, I will have my streaming set up.
Ooh, you gonna Twitch stream cross-stitch?
No, I'm going to Twitch stream gaming because I have games that I want to try and play, but I need help because I'm bad at it.
Yeah, so she and Riri were talking about if she plays Zelda games, that Riri can come in and guide on that.
Well, you gals should do the feature where you're playing together, and if you play together on Switch, you could pass her the controller to parts you get stuck at. That would be so fun to watch.
Or I just have people tell me how to get through things.
That too. Well, looking forward to seeing that.
I still need to set up my space for doing that, so it's probably going to be towards the end of the year.
Awesome. Well, thank you for being here, Kat. You're awesome.
You're welcome, and I'm gonna let you guys finish the rest of your episode. So,
Kat.
Ciao.
Goodbye.
Adios. Bye. Or whatever they say in Australia. Good day. Is that offensive? Do they say good day? Is that a real thing?
That basically means hello.
Oops.
And as somebody who says this a lot at work, it's just because it's the way we say good day.
Yeah.
That if I'm not thinking about it, I do drop into good day and good night.
Good night. Good night, Kat.
Ciao.
All right, Mike. Well, we played a lot of great games and a couple of not so great games this season. So I wanted to try to do my annual speed run through all the titles. How fast can I say all 24 games from season 3? Last season, I did 30 games in 13.2 seconds, which means to beat my record, I will need to do all 24 games in 10.6 seconds. I don't think it's possible with these titles, Mike. What do you think?
I'll be agreeable. I'll say you can't do it either.
Some of these titles are long and I was struggling to shorten them down. So let's give it a try. Oh, hope I don't embarrass myself. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. This is not the right list. This is not the right list, is it?
No.
What happened? Oh, okay. You know what? You know in Mario Kart when you're like about to start a race and you hit the gas too soon and you just shoot smoke everywhere? False start.
I was going to say this is a lot closer to when you realize you've been watching the wrong screen for about the first 10 seconds of a race.
That is a good analogy. Okay, can I try again?
I mean, yeah.
For those who were confused, that was the list from season 2. And I was doing really well. Dang it. Okay, now the wrong titles are in my brain. This is a nightmare. Okay, 10.2 seconds. Can I beat it? Here we go. And Link's Awakening, Mario Party, Paladins, Paladins 4, Metroid 2, Fantasy for Gator, because Zelda Ocarina of Time, Come Computers, Nike Gate, Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2, Blast Core, Cool Cool and Mario Space, Super Super 09, 09, Mega Man, The Wily Wars, Goose and Goblins, Ghouls and Ghosts, Super Ghouls, Guts, and Crystalis. Oh my god, I don't even know if I said some of those. 11.1. I'm not mad about that. I gave it my best shot. I tried my best. Well, Mike, so let's get on to the next segment of our finale, the Old SwitchAroonies, where we give a shout out to the superstars and Nintenduds of Season 3. Starting off with the Titanfall Award for Most Underrated Game. Which one are you going with, Mike?
I mean, I feel like there's only one of these that really fits the bill as most underrated.
Okay.
It's clearly Kung Fu Heroes.
You're kidding.
It's most underrated, not best. And I think that one is underrated.
Because people hate it and you had fun with it?
Yeah.
Okay. I get what you're saying. If the floor is so low.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. Well, I went a different approach to games that people actually like, which is Crystalis. I'm blown away that I didn't know that game existed for how much I liked it. And, I think it has this really cool premise. I think time did this game dirty, as it did the protagonist of the story itself. So, Crystalis, Happney's right. That game, so cool. My most underrated game. How about next category, the Paul Rudd Award for a game that's aged beautifully?
I think I've got to go Ghouls and Ghosts.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. What strikes you about the presentation in that one?
I like how it looks. I like how it moves. I like how it feels. It is one that does not, to me, feel dated. It's not one that you're playing, you're like, oh, well, yeah, they were limited by what they could do here.
Yeah. I went with Super Mario Advance 2 on the Game Boy Advance, which, if you recall, is actually Super Mario World, but it's the Game Boy Advance port that has all those wonderful quality of life features, such as the, saving more often and having the how many special coins am I still looking for? And, that game just visually, it's just peak Mario 2D sprite work. And then you combine that with modern functionality, Super Mario Advance 2. I think the definitive way to play that game, and I think it has aged wonderfully.
Plus, then you get to hear Mario every time you die or get a power up or whatever.
Yeah, it's got the voice acting.
Yeah, the thing that everybody thought was missing.
Well, something that no one thought was missing is the Wadham Award for Weirdest and Wackiest Game. Mike, which one left you scratching your head?
I think the one that struck me as just like, this is such a weird angle to go for, is Clu Clu Land.
Yeah.
Just that control approach is really unique, and it takes a while to get the hang of. Some would say I never did, but I do appreciate that's very much a, what if we do something fairly fundamentally different?
I almost picked that because I'd never controlled a game in quite that way. I didn't like it, but gotta give it to it. It's super weird. I went with Kid Icarus on this one. Like, there were so many little wacky touches in that game, and even beyond the infamous eggplant wizard that turns you into a aubergine with uncomfortably sexy legs. You got the credit card power up that puts you into debt. There's like Metroids in that game. There's Rolling Stones references. I'm just really grateful for the devs who fought to keep the weirdness in that game, because I think that's what makes it so iconic. How about the Skies of Arcadia Award for most in need of a reboot or a remaster?
I went Crystalis on that.
Okay, because I felt like that game still played pretty well. What would you spruce up if you re-released that game?
Better hitboxes and more buttons.
Yeah, something beyond a 2-button NES controller would have done wonders.
Yeah, like that's where it's just like, there's a game mechanic thing here where I'm like, if you just had further technology to do this, like I don't need the graphics to change, maybe a little bit in there to give some direction or to clear up triggers so that that's a little bit less opaque.
You saw goodness there. It was just kind of inaccessible.
Yeah, there's enough showstoppers, but I'm like, many of them were like, these could be fixed.
I went with Phantasy Star 4. I think that game had some of the highest highs of the season. The story moved me so much. I just adored the world building, the epic boss battles. But like that was the game where all of the attack and item descriptions are so shortened and truncated that we made an entire mini game minute trying to guess what it meant. So, and that was also the game, with no autosave and the part where you would like veer around objects when you're trying to interact with them. It's just fantastic game if you can get past, I'm going to say, the user interface. So that would be my choice for something that could use a glow up. Illumination Award for the game that would make a hit movie. I think I know yours.
Go ahead.
Ninja Gaiden.
Yeah, obviously.
But I know that though because you went on a podcast recently and talked about it.
I did talk about it over there.
Yeah, Super Wall Jump.
Yeah, Super Wall Jump, which is new podcast. So I'm their second episode. Their first episode is also a fun one. But yeah, no, I mean, we talked about it a little bit in our episode of that too, of like, why is this not a movie?
Yeah.
Given the video games that got movies. I'm like, this one already has it. It remains the only game that I sought out all of the remaining story scenes from the part I didn't see rather than the gameplay I didn't see.
I mean, even it had, it was kind of the creation of the modern cutscene. And, they called it like Namco Theater Mode, or not Namco, the company that made it. Tecmo? No, not Tecmo. Oh, this is getting embarrassing. Anyway, they had a special theater mode just for the cutscenes. My choice was Blast Core. I think that, you get Fast and Furious style, like, nail-biting chases and you're crashing through buildings. But what I think makes that game potentially a really cool movie is that it's not gory. You can blow up a lot of stuff on screen and keep that PG or PG-13 rating. But I can't get this image out of my head. So the premise, if you guys didn't listen to that episode, and you should, was that, there's this runaway nuclear carrier and you are demolishing buildings to create a safe path for it so we can get to a safe detonation site. And so obviously you introduce like, terrorist characters who are trying to set off the bomb. And then you got, your protagonist fighting on top of the carrier. But you remember the Sideswipe? That's the vehicle that Nate made fun of in his question, where it just has the pistons that shoot out on the left and right side of the vehicle. I can't stop picturing two baddies driving up on each side of that thing and then just hit it and just knock them off the bridge. You know what I mean? On each side of them. That's the money shot. Blast Core movie. Let's make it happen.
I like the idea of the director's cut being, or the after credits being them going back and just leveling the rest of the city just for like the achievements.
The high score.
Yeah.
That would be hilarious. That would be incredible. See? Blast Core the movie. So let's go on to a new category, the 1226 Award for Best Boxing. Do you get my reference?
Yes, it is a Boxing Day reference.
Yeah, awesome. So, Mike, I think you and I have the same one. I want to. My mind is your mind. Okay, ready?
I mean, I don't know what you think this is going to be.
Okay, well, let's see. Let's see. Okay.
Okay.
So 3 and then go. Ready? Or 3, 2, 1 and then
on 3. It's always faster on 3.
3, 2, 1. Ghouls
Mario
and Ghosts. Whoops. Okay, never mind. Mike, you hate the Mario Party cover.
Honestly, when I looked at all of these, I really don't like the 3. I don't like the dice box there. But I'm kind of like, if this hadn't been successful, like sales wise, if it hadn't become a franchise and that was it, that wouldn't be a problem. And when looking at all the box art at once, in that context, it jumped out at me more than I expected it. Like I was a bit surprised as well when I'm looking at it, what would I pick? And I'm like, I do kind of feel like I'm at that one.
Yeah, it's good. It's got the 3D, representation of Mario. It's all very polygonal. It's super N64 era. I'm not mad at that. Well, you and I just both agreed that Ghouls and Ghosts cover. I mean, that's second or third place, right?
Yeah, definitely did consider. Weirdly, also, I found in a sea of box art, Pilot Wings stands out in a way that was surprising.
The simplicity of just the word.
Yeah, like if you just have to look at it, it's like what the heck. But if it's the only one, it's like it feels different. But Ghouls and Ghosts was the other one that I was looking at.
Okay, so I wasn't that far off.
I did switch away from it, but it wasn't a runaway decision.
Gotcha. Yeah, that's just such cool illumination to the design, and then the depiction of the first boss in the background looming over Arthur. It's so epic. I just loved it as a kid. I love it today. So this next category, it's really just for Mike because Mike, in addition to working really hard on the audio editing and lately the video editing of this podcast, he also reads the manuals before he plays the games. So I was curious, the Pro Skater 2 award for best manual. Cable Club, you get the joke, yeah? But can I redeem myself? I know which one you're going to say.
All right.
Okay, same thing. 3, 2, 1. Here we go.
Okay.
3, 2, 1.
F-Zero.
Yeah! What makes it so good, Mike?
It straight up is partially a comic.
Yeah.
And like one of the things that comes up with a lot of these is to the extent that the manuals do world building that games couldn't do. And F-Zero kind of really goes above and beyond that. It's not just the stories and the descriptions and getting a feel for the characters. Like it is literally several pages of comic.
And they didn't need to do that for you to understand how to play the game. But that was like Chico's favorite part, is all the elaborate backstory.
Yeah, I mean, and to be fair, like even with that, they still have also like the standard things of like, here's characters and here's the ships, and also like they had all of that end the comic. That wasn't even as though the comic was just the way they decided to do it.
Yeah, it's really beautiful, and I think it's one of the things that is underappreciated when you talk about retro games is this whole other production that sometimes is really cool like that. So awesome. Let's get into the Nintendo Dud Awards. We are giving this to the bottom 3 games of Season 2, and we're going to go back and forth, starting with my third worst game, or third from the bottom, I guess you would say, on my own personal rankings. This one was interesting because I was so mad at Super Ghouls and Ghosts being such a step down from Ghouls and Ghosts that that was originally my number 3, but in listening to our own episode where Cyril was defending it, I felt myself soften to the game. And it was, I think, the first time I can think of where our own content changed my opinion later down the road. So I have to say it's Ghosts and Goblins, because as frustrating as Super Ghouls and Ghosts was, with the double jumping and just the no checkpoints before a boss, it was just so unpleasant much of the time. I still, in my mind, fondly look back to the presentation, and Ghosts and Goblins, I just didn't really enjoy the gameplay or the presentation. What was your third from the bottom?
I'm going to preface this whole thing with my approach towards evaluation is sort of how much do I feel I'm getting out of something.
Sure.
And so it's if I don't feel like I'm getting something out of it, it falls into not good. And this was certainly also a very competitive season in the sense that we had a lot of games that are, if not we think are good, are at least thought of as good.
Yeah.
So we don't have a whole lot of bad forgotten games.
Right.
So my third worst pick is Mega Man.
Whoa. Wow. Okay.
I never got into it. Never, like, even the one time I beat a boss, it didn't feel fun to me. It never, something about it it never clicked in a way.
Yeah. You never got to the point where you're like, I'm having fun doing this and I want to keep doing this.
Correct.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, it's valid. It's almost at that level where it's like some types of food you're just not gonna like, and it doesn't necessarily mean that there's no value to it, but for you would not take another
Yeah,
bite.
it's like how some people have that specific gene where cilantro tastes like soap. I have the specific gene where Mega Man is not fun, apparently.
Mega Man tastes like Link 2, or is the Adventure of Link for you? Well, so then my second from the bottom is Kung Fu Heroes. That game, it was so fun getting to play it with one of my comedy heroes, but the game was just not very good. The hit detection was just awful, and the fact that you need to get specific items to progress in the game, but there's no indication of where they are or when you should get them, and arbitrary things like needing to collect ammunition so you can do a kick. It's just, the game defies logic and it defies fun, and it's just bad. But Cilantro mouth over here. You kind of like Kung Fu Heroes.
Yeah.
So what's your second from the bottom?
Continuing that hit detection problem.
No. Oh no.
Kristalis.
No, Mike.
And again kind of became like, even with the finding out where I'd gotten stuck due to bad guidance out of that, like I didn't go back because there was just so much about mostly control interface and some of those things where I'm like, there's a core here, but the problems were such large problems for me.
The moment you said hit detection, I was like, oh no, I know what he's about to say.
And I think it says something that I could just be like, oh, it hit detection problems. And you're like, right, but no, you can't pick that.
Okay. So we might have the same bottom game then.
I don't think we do.
Okay. I mean, third time's a charm or nah?
No. Go ahead to yours, because I have no idea where yours is going to be.
I don't think the game works. And it's not to say that it's buggy, but I think it just never in any moment achieves a game's most important goal, which is to be fun. So, Clue Land. Sorry, Bubbles. Listen, I'm a real feminist, okay? I'm not going to say that you accomplished something if you didn't. But I just, much love to the, character, but the idea of flying around and grabbing these signposts to turn? Novel concept, but I just think there's a reason that pretty much games never really did this again. I guess King of Swing, but that game controls so differently, it's hard to say it's the same mechanic. So, sorry, Andrew, but Clue Land is my bottom of season 3. What's yours?
Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, you really hated that game.
Yeah, and I feel it's worth noting, like, since I played all these on stream, people can go and see how not having a good time I am on all 3 of those.
Yeah, that's fair. There's you have the receipts.
Yeah, and this isn't like I played 5 minutes and got fed up. Like, each of those got, like, Super Ghouls and Ghosts may have only gotten like an hour or an hour and a half, to which I never reached the boss. And the other 2 were probably closer to 2 to 3 hours, maybe a bit more than that on Mega Man, because Mega Man, I tried every boss on each of the first 3.
Kudos to you. That's a lot of tries.
Yeah, it's a lot of failure. If I hadn't gotten to grad school, I would never been prepared for that.
Well, Dr. Lund, I think you're more successful than you let on. How about we transition to the successes of this season, our Superstar Awards for the top 3 games. Third choice for me is a modern game, F-Zero 99. I just think that game is so generous. It's so feature-rich. It's free to play, but just the premise of we're going to take the Super Nintendo game and we're going to make it with 98 other online players, and you'd never know it, but the game, it runs so smoothly. It's just like, I can't think of a single thing that game should have done differently. So kudos to you, Nintendo, for supporting that game for so long, and whoever thought of the idea, chef's kiss. F-Zero 99. What's your third place?
Mario Super Picross.
Okay, yes, this is your kind of game.
Yes.
And you had played these kind of games before, you just didn't know there was a name for it.
I played them before. I didn't know that Picross was actually a brand name.
But you said Mario Super Picross, but didn't you like the Game Boy one more?
I ended up enjoying both. There's a lot more in Mario Super Picross, and with that one, it's faster to get to the Wario mode that I prefer more.
Sure.
The graphics were initially a problem, but I was able to change settings so that it displayed better on my TV, which was a weird customization thing that I was not actually expecting. But yeah, no, I still haven't beaten the Wario side of that.
But you're going to go back to it, I imagine.
I probably will at some point. It's more that's definitely those kind of games are very much like second screen kind of games. And so instead I've just dropped like 100 hours into a different game of this style on my computer because I can be playing that while watching TV.
For sure. Although again, Mike, you can lift your Switch out of that dock.
No, I treat Switches like the Queen Mary. It's like, yeah, technically that can leave, but it stays in dock.
Wow, did you have that ready, or did you think of that just now?
Just now.
Wow, well done. Well, speaking of well done, second favorite game for me, honorable mention to Ninja Gaiden, but it narrowly lost out to Link's Awakening. I think that game being a Game Boy Color game, it's so impressive how fun it was, but what really pushes it over the edge for me is the setting, and particularly the dreamlike setting combined with the Mario characters. It made the whole thing feel like I was in like this Nintendo theme park decades before that was actually possible, you know? So seeing like the chain chomps and the Goombas and the little side-scrolling sections, Link's Awakening just feels magical. And so I was surprised because I think Ocarina of Time is probably regarded as the superior Zelda game. But Link's Awakening, I'm a top-down boy. I'm a top-down Zelda boy, and Link's Awakening is my number two. What about you?
Of those two, that is the one I would take.
Link's Awakening?
I would take Awakening over Ocarina of Time.
Oh, cool. Okay. So what was your second place?
Mine was Super Mario World.
Oh, you're not a platformer guy, though.
Not generally. I think, or I'd say not generally. I think that has enough to it that it doesn't feel like it's usually about how precisely can you do this specific platforming. And certainly, I guess technically speaking, that I really mean whatever stupid
Super Mario Advance.
Super Mario World, Super Mario Advance 2.
Yes, that one.
Really, I mean that. Because with that sort of checkpointing, not being great, you can still push through. It could have done that right the first time. Like we talked about, like Ninja Gaiden did that right out of the gate. But with that, to the point where it's like, if I just kind of just have to get through this bit once and I'm kind of locked in it, good, you made it. Like, I don't think I would have been able to push through it and go back to it enough if I wasn't having enough fun to it. And I kind of, at a certain point, did the quick rush to, okay, let's just beat this game, which also was doable, which is a nice point. But the ability to go back and find additional exits out of stuff and that kind of exploration is neat. Like, I didn't do much of it just for time's sake, but like, I liked that that's there. It was fun to stumble upon a few of them and be like, hey, wait a minute, that's a thing.
Yeah, it also gives you a different path through the levels. So in theory, if something is really challenging, there might be another way to go.
Yeah, turns out that there, with the part in the regular levels that I got stuck at, that's exactly what was happening. There was another way to go that I didn't realize.
That's sweet. I'm glad you liked it so much. So my number one game, I was kind of surprised at, and I think nostalgia glasses are really influencing this decision. But Ghouls and Ghosts on the Sega Genesis, it is so good. The aesthetic is so imaginative. The bosses are so frightening. The ability to shoot up and down so rapidly is so satisfying. And, you know, it's a game that's known for being notoriously hard, but it's also one of the few games that I beat without cheating, without having to rewind. And that includes going back through the game a second time. And I was just like, even when I was dying, I was like, this is so fun. And I can't wait to try that spot again. And then, you know, because I think you can kind of naturally progress through that game in a way that a lot of platformers of that era, you sort of get locked out by like an overly challenging bit. So I just love this game. It's my kind of dark horse number one pick for season 3. What was yours?
Ghouls and Ghosts.
Whoa! Yes! Really? Is there anything that you like that I didn't already mention?
I don't think so. I think I think it looks good. I think it plays well. I think there's a good feel to it. I like that I can kill the stupid zombies as they're coming into the thing, rather than having them appear in a box and have to wait for that. So yeah, like there's a lot that I had fun with it.
Absolutely. Oh, I wish we did the 3, 2, 1 countdown thing. That would have been perfect. Well, so then it's official. The Breath of the Wild award for season 3 is Ghouls and Ghosts. Mike and I have a rare moment of agreement, but go to our Discord, join up on our Discord, and don't forget to hit that like button, and vote on the Virtual Boy Award for the worst game of season 2, or season 3, excuse me. We might have to
rename that now that they're bringing that.
Right, that's going to get confusing in, I imagine, season 4. We'll see. But anyway, what do you think is the worst game? Clue Clue Land or Super Ghouls and Ghosts? I'm feeling pretty good about my odds on this one.
Yeah, no, I'm not seeing that vote going in agreement with me. Or, you know, if it's one that neither of us picked as the worst, feel free to let us know.
Yeah, that won't be on the choices, but I'm curious.
Yeah.
Yeah, good call, good call. Okay, Mike, so that was fun. Another Old Switcharoonies in the bag. Well, so let's go ahead and wrap up the episode here by doing our Nintendo official Swish list for Season 3. things that we are hoping come to Nintendo Switch Online / Nintendo Classics, other than hoping for a better name for the whole thing. Mike, what are you hoping comes to the service?
Well, now I'm going to start off with briefly Holy Diver. I would like that now because that's a game we now know exists.
Yeah, shout out to Cyril. That game sounds amazing. He helped re-release that with Retrobit.
Yeah, so it's like I would like that on something that I can play. But
yeah,
beyond that, I think the first one I'm going to say is SP mode on more games, especially multiplayer games where things are locked behind beating stuff in single player.
Yeah, 100%. My offer to get a tattoo still stands. Nintendo, if you're listening, bring back SP mode for Nintendo Switch Online / Classics, and let us play these games at maximum fun, because your audience is adults now. The people who played N64 are adults now. Meet us where we're at, Nintendo.
That and like a bunch of those where when you just had the game, you had a ton of time to beat it so that you could then get to the cool things.
Yeah.
You're giving us over 300 games. I have many options if I just want to play something. Let me get to the part I want to play.
Mike and I both have Switch 2s now, and so Mike, I'm not sure if you've seen the rumor or kind of fan mock-up of the Nintendo DS peripheral that they could release for the Switch 2, because the Switch 2 has a USB-C port in the top and the bottom. So you could release a foldable second screen that plugs into that top USB-C port. And granted, you probably have to play it in handheld mode, but that'd be a really cool way to bring Nintendo DS games to Nintendo Classics, because the bottom of the screen would have a touch screen like the DS had, and then you have the second screen. Or, I don't think you can do a thing where like you're holding the Switch and it's air playing to the television and that's your second screen. I don't think the Switch has that kind of capabilities. In fact, I'm sure it doesn't. So that would be neat. And then, you know what? You guys are making a Virtual Boy peripheral. Like this is a better idea than that. So go for that. And Mike, you had a wish for a game. Oh no, it was Holy Diver. You had said. Mine, I think I actually have a pretty good chance of getting this time. Still waiting on Clay Fighter. Still waiting on Rampage. But now that we have GameCube games, there was a WarioWare television, like not portable game for the GameCube called WarioWare Incorporated Mega Party Games. Are you familiar?
I am not.
2003 GameCube port of the Game Boy Advance game. But what made it so fun is it's that WarioWare gameplay of rapidly cycling through 4-second games, but it's 4 players, so you're taking turns. And my brothers and I, a whole summer, played this one mode where like you're standing on top of turtles, and every time you lose a mini game, an extra turtle is added to your stack. And so the game becomes who's going to fall over last, who can keep their balance the longest. And if you're good at the mini games, your balance is easier because your stack of turtles isn't as high. It's so much fun. And, I'm optimistic I'm going to get that one. So fingers crossed here.
2 other things that I have on my wish list. Number 1, I want another Sega system.
Oh, okay.
And honestly, not picky which. I want that sort of connection to be continuing to be fed.
Yes, I agree.
And I think it does something as well to bring in people who that's where their nostalgia is.
Yeah.
To go, hey, we do know you exist, and we have your stuff here as well.
So I'm gonna piggyback on your idea, because if you can bring the Virtual Boy, and the kind of cool thing about Virtual Boy on Nintendo Classics is that we're gonna get to play pretty much the entire catalog, because it was not successful. So almost every game is coming. Do the Sega 32X, because you're gonna get the clickbait of what is that? That was not popular. But there's also like games on there that people would love to play, like Knuckles Chaotix. It's the only, Sonic game where Knuckles was the primary protagonist, and a lot of beloved characters came from that game. So people, they're not going to spend X amount of dollars hunting down that game on eBay. But, it was also a fully cartridge-based system, so there wouldn't be any issues with, like, the full motion video or the rights to actual actors that you would run into if you did Sega CD. Sega CD is mostly known for its full motion games, so Sega 32X, make it happen. I like that idea, Mike. Good on you. What was the other one?
And then, of course, as always,
Cruising.
Cruising USA, please.
Yeah, keep putting that out into the universe. Yeah, that's awesome. So, Mike, final thoughts on season 3. Do you want to go first or should I go first?
I will go first because I feel like you have a more prepared final thoughts.
Of sorts.
So certainly it's been a lot of season, a lot of fun guests that have brought us into contact with other fan communities out there. So that has been fun. And certainly a lot of this benefits from those connections because hey, we do a video game podcast is a very common line on the internet.
What? We're not the only one, Mike?
There's at least 3. So certainly that helps. In the same vein, if you listen to this stuff, which if you're hearing this, you by definition do listen to this stuff. If you know people that you think would also dig this, please share. It is very hard to make discoverability work. And one of the most trusted things is if someone says, hey, you guys should check this out.
Yeah. And you're all lovely people. Everyone connected to the show, everyone listening, everybody helping us make it. You know, I'll bet the people that you know are probably pretty rad too. So spread the word, bring them to our Discord. You know, if they have a game they're really passionate about, let us know. You know, it's been one of the greatest things about this podcast. So not to bring the room down too much or anything, I had a bit of a health scare over summer. I got my very first ulcer. Mike, are you familiar with ulcers?
Yes.
Yeah. So I don't know if you've had the pleasure, but it's pretty awful. It's a hole in the side of my stomach, and the hope was that it was something that's curable simply through prescriptions, but it's not that kind of ulcer. It's like a stress one. And this show is so much fun to me. Like it fills my bucket so much. But it's the work that goes into this. It's one of the few things that Mike and I have a modicum of control over. Like I can't make my students less stressful. God bless them. I'm the union rep for my teacher union, and so that's super important. So basically, what I'm trying to say is that going into season 4, we're changing format slightly. We're going to stick to 1 game per episode, which I think will let us explore the games a bit more. And I think the format works a little bit better that way. But we're still going to be releasing on the same schedule, and a lot of that is due to Mike's hard work. Mike has stepped up and taken on more of the responsibility of running this thing. So if you appreciate that the Switcheroo is going to keep going, releasing every other week, be sure to thank Mike because he's really stepped up. And when I had to step back a little bit, I just appreciate it, Mike. I really, really do. And please listen next season because we love doing this, and we hope that you love listening to it.
Yeah, and so that next season will start roughly around the end of this year, the start of next year, but we will have some episodes in between now and then still. We'll do some more light switches that will allow us to have some more relaxed episodes in there.
Yeah, and we'll be talking about stuff that's not necessarily covering games, but just, different stuff that we've been up to, and, I'm excited for it. And by the way, and I'm fine. I don't know if I said that, but, I'm not in danger or anything. I just gotta take it a little easier. But anyway, I don't know about you, Mike, but I think this season has been excellent. Everyone, please visit www.theoldswitcharoo. That's AROO.com, where you can find links to our Spotify, our Discord, YouTube, TikTok, and all the social medias you can shake a joystick at. Big thanks to Kristal Fields for our incredible intro song. And please, listener, don't forget to like and subscribe. This has been the Old Switcharoo, where we're still talking gaming retro with Mike and Jaymo.
I've been Mike.
And I've been Jaymo. Game on, everyone.
Oh, do that to me. Here we go. Of course, now it's being stubborn.
Is this part of it? Is it like an escape room thing? We have to fix the glitch?
No, I have a glitch, and it's not letting me play one of the files.
Doki Doki DLC Club.
That was a solid reference, I'm sure. I just don't know that game. I know what it is. I just don't have an attachment enough.
So have you not played Doki Doki Literature Club?
No, never.
You should check that out.
That's the one where the students have to solve a murder by dawn or they all die, isn't it?
I mean, if you know the murder's by dawn, what's the mystery?
Wow, that definitely wasn't worth it.